Call the regularly scheduled Board of Selectmen meeting for Monday, January 4th, 2021 to order. As per executive order by the governor, we are allowed to conduct this as a Zoom meeting. May I just say that let us hope that 2021, which is a number I'll forget on my checkbook up until probably around March, but is a much better year than 2020 for our country, for our communities, and for each of us. So with that, first order of business is Pledge of Allegiance. Charlie, would you lead us, please?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to
To
the flag
of the United States of America
and to the
and to the
republic
republic
for which it stands, one nation, under
under God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Charlie. Public forum. Is there anyone from the public wishing to address the board on any item on the agenda? Going once, going twice. Hearing none, we'll move on to item 3, and that's to approve the minutes and the minutes of the December 21st, 2020 regular meeting. Is there a motion?
I'll move them.
Thank you, Charlie. And a second. Any comments, questions, changes, additions, etc.? I had none.
I have just one quick thing. In 11.2, which was the reappointment of Steve Copps to the pension committee, in the minutes, he seconded by Mr. Copps, which I don't think is correct.
I guess he really wanted the job, huh? Thank you, Sue. We'll correct that. Tracy can go back and take a look at that on the tape, just to make sure we know who had it. So, is there anything else? All right, with that correction, let me try your minds. Selectman Federici.
Aye.
Selectman Haverda.
Aye.
Selectwoman Brenner.
Aye.
Selectwoman Rua.
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. That motion carries. Item 4, Police Chief Butch Hyatt, 4.1 is to discuss and take possible action to approve the purchase of body armor. Butch, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, this is actually an annual purchase. Our vests they run on a 5-year cycle. That's the national standard, recommended standard for body armor. So every 5 years we replace vests for the personnel in the department. Typically in a normal year, we're replacing about 5 or 6 vests a year. We are at the mark, the 5-year mark, where I think when this program started back probably 10 or 15 years ago, everybody in the department got vests at one time. Over that time, a number of people have retired or moved on or whatever. And this is the group. It's the largest group. There's 14 vests that we're looking for at this point to replace this year, because that's that largest group. And again, they'll come around again 5 years from now. This is money that we did budget in our capital budget for 2021, and we budget it every year. I think you may recall for the 21-22 budget, I mentioned the vest costs that we had in there, and that we do apply for a grant for these vests. It's not guaranteed. It's a reimbursement grant. They do pay a portion of the cost of the vest if we get the grant. So, we're hopeful that that will come through to offset some of the costs, but we do have to pay that cost up front.
What is the total number of vests that we maintain?
Well, we have 38 police officers, so 38 vests. Every officer has one.
Okay, so
Sorry?
this is almost half of them.
This is almost half. And again, I think it's because we have a mandatory wear policy for the vests, as many police departments do. It's the right thing to do. It's a safety issue. And I think, as I said, when this program first came into place, probably 10 or 15 years ago, maybe more, the whole department bought vests at one point. And as I said, over time, that has changed. So every 5 years, we get new people in, we buy them vests, they start the 5-year cycle again. So like next year.
I was going to suggest, I mean, this is not an overwhelming amount, but I was just going to suggest if we could, shorten a couple of them and make it an annual, $3,000 a year type thing, but it's not that remarkable of an amount, so.
And as I said, we do apply for the grant, and that's been helpful over the years. It's not a guarantee as with many other grants, but it does help offset that cost quite a bit if we do get those grants.
Chief, Chief, I had a follow-up question. Do these vests follow the individual? For instance, we have one that would get assigned to Officer X. Officer X decides that he wants to go work down in Fairfield. Does he take that vest with him?
He does, and as a matter of fact, Officer X we did have an Officer X did leave, and we were able to be reimbursed by the agency he was going to for his vest, since it was bought a fairly new vest and was within that 5-year time frame. So they are measured individually to each officer, so they can, but they don't normally switch from one person to another because everybody is a little bit different in size and shape.
So even in a perfect world, we had 38, we were replacing, 7.5 every year. That schedule could get blown up with retirements and/or folks leaving and going to a different department.
It could change, and we also budget for new vests too. So if we plan on new hires or lateral hires coming in, a lot of times a lateral, if they've got a vest, they bring it with them. But a new hire, we plan with the new hire we have going to the academy starting next week. This is one of these vests that we budgeted here is for a new hire as well. So that person will be in the rotation starting the 5-year rotation when they get their vest.
Great. Anything further?
Now, do we have a motion or do I?
No, thank you. I think you just made it, John. In a second.
Second.
Let me try your minds. All those in favor, Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haverda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Selectwoman Rua,
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. Thank you, Chief, and I see Deputy Chief Massey's on the line as well today. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you again, as always.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, everybody.
All right, item 5. Fire Chief Charlie Hershaft, 5.1 is to discuss and take possible action to approve the purchase and installation of a satellite system for the fire department command trailer. Morning, Charlie. Happy New Year, and the floor is yours.
Good morning and happy New Year. This satellite system is in the capital operating budget. It's replacing the one that is 15 years old on the current command trailer. This one's being upgraded to a public safety satellite system for web, and it will be capable of being used remotely. Obviously, because it's on a trailer, but if the town hall or some other major facility in town lost their internet for some reason, we should be able to plug into their building with some modifications and give them back up on the internet. The price is $37,785.
Thank you, Charlie. Are there any questions?
Yeah, Charlie, could you just run, excuse me, this is Lou. Could you just explain that last bit there, what you're saying? In other words, you could use that in lieu of the communications that are in the basement of town hall?
That's correct. If the internet went down, the fiber went down, or for some reason you had a large loss like we did during Hurricane Gloria, we would have a capability of plugging into the town hall and giving them internet access.
And I gather that the command vehicle already has a built-in generator and it's already sort of able to operate independently for an extended period?
Yes. For a month, if we had to, yes.
Okay. But you said that it's most likely able to tie in. And what's the hesitation?
It's just a matter of what the amount of equipment that's necessary in each building. We're gonna take a look at all that. And talking to the IT guy here, Jay, he thought it was very feasible, and especially the town hall, we see no real problems there.
No real problems, you said?
No real problem.
Okay, so the vendors are all talking to each other, and you have somebody internal there who's the conductor of all this technology synthesizing.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, thank you.
Not me.
I can appreciate that myself. I would be lost.
Mhm.
Got it. Charlie, did you have a question?
No, I was pretty much gonna ask the same question about what it's gonna take to do those emergency hookups. And I think that is something we should pursue, at least for town hall, if not the community center. And I assume the fire department and police department are also going to be pursued. But I will move.
Yeah, we currently do use the system, well, before it got outdated, but we have used the system in the past here.
Okay, I'll move it if that's where we are.
I think so. Thank you, Charlie. Second?
Second.
Second.
Let me try your minds. All those in favor of the approval? Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haverda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Selectwoman Ruoff,
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. Motion carries. Charlie, thank you very much and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Happy New Year.
Item 6, discuss and take action on the resolution authorizing the first selectman to comply with all necessary provisions and assurances in conjunction with the award of the 2020 CDBG grant, Community Development Block Grant, for those who are unfamiliar with the acronym, Small Cities Shelter Diversion Grant Award. Let me just give you a little bit of background. We've seen this before. This is the $350,000 grant that we received last year. Well, it's probably more like 18 months ago. This is a program that we've entered into. We are the fiduciary agent for the United Way, who is the coordinated access network for the Greater New Haven region for homelessness. These funds have been recently reappropriated as part of the coronavirus program. So this is an additional award, and it's another $350,000. We already are benefiting from the first of these programs. There is an embedded individual at the Guilford's Women and Family Life Center. And this is the housing diversion program. This is not a homelessness program. This is designed to prevent homelessness and provide access to programs and resources for those who are on the precipice of losing their residence, their domiciles, or their homes for whatever reason. It's not just related to the COVID fund. So this allows us to process the agreement between us and the state Department of Housing. And as you probably recall, this is really funded with federal housing dollars. And this authorizes me to enter into the agreement so we can receive the next round of funding. And just as a quick note, that Karen Korsha in my office has done a tremendous job working with the United Way folks, Kelly Fitzgerald, United Way, to make sure our applications get in on time, are accurate. And just if you read through through the details, you'll find that we are entitled, as most federal programs allow for, to reimburse us for some of the time spent by our staff. And there's a $5,000 allocation in that grant to cover related salary and time costs, and even some travel and training costs that Karen has undertaken. So,
Great.
all right. Any questions?
No.
Can I have a motion, please?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
Let me try your minds. All in favor? Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haverda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Selectwoman Ruoff,
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. Thank you for that approval. This program has already provided some relief to members of our community, and hopefully more will benefit as well. So, all right, item 7, appointments and resignations. Bear with me.
Yeah, I don't have anything attached.
I
Okay.
don't have any at this
Weird.
point. Item 8, request for the use.
Apparently, everybody's happy where they are.
Well, it's good. I'm sure that we'll be having a few more to fill out over the next couple of months.
All right.
Item 8, request for use of town property. 8.1, act on a request from the Boy Scouts of America Troop 474 to place a sign on the green advertising at Strawberry Social.
You know, I'd like to make that motion, Matt.
I thought you might, Lou. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Call the question, all in favor? Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haverda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Selectwoman Ruoff.
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. 8.2, act on a request from the Boy Scouts of America Troop 474 to use the green for social strawberry social on June 6, 2021. Lou?
I will make the motion to allow them to put the sign on.
Is there a second?
Second.
Call the question, let me try your mind. Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haverda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Selectwoman Ruoff.
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. 8.3, act on a request from the Shoreline Arts Alliance to use the Green for its theater on Green Camp, July 19th, 2021 to August 3rd, 2021. Is there a motion?
So move.
And a second?
Second.
Call the question. All in favor, Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haverda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner.
I'm sorry, I actually wanted to ask a question. I couldn't get it in there
sorry.
fast enough.
I'm sorry.
Sorry about that. Item number 6, they would like to request permission to serve alcohol. Trying to remember, we didn't do this last year, but the year before, was that done?
Yeah, and we had approved it for last year.
Mhm.
Under the plan that would have been modified the previous year.
That's right, that's right.
So, Sue, I think that's a good point. You want to make it with the caveat, that motion with the caveat that they comply with the regulations established last year?
Great, that'd be great.
Great.
So, sorry, Sue.
I'm sorry, where is the alcohol not under the Shoreline Alliance?
Yeah,
Where-
it's on, it's
Item
item 6
6.
in their motion.
I don't have an item
request.
6.
Well, if you open
On
up
the
the
application?
letter from them, the application, there's actually it's more than item 6. It goes down. It's explained at some length at the bottom. There's an actually sub X right above his signature.
Oh, I didn't see that. Right above his signature.
So there's an X that talks about the no, you're not allowed to have alcoholic beverages except for special permit, which they've gone through.
This is the Shoreline Alliance for their summer
I know.
camp? I don't think we're
Oh,
talking.
it's in, I'm
They have a
reading the
dinner.
regulations governing the use of the green.
Right.
Well,
I don't
I'm
think.
confused as to what we're acting on. I just had 2 things from the Boy Scouts and then something for the Shoreline Alliance for the green.
Right. In
That's the
item
one.
6 of their application, it does note about permission to serve alcohol.
But this is the theater on the green camp. I can't imagine.
Yeah,
these
I
being
know,
alcohol.
but it is
Donor-
there. though.
They have a donor appreciation event.
Right.
Oh.
They went to some lengths to describe how they managed that 2
I
years
don't
ago.
see that in mine, though.
I don't see the actual application, Sue. You're right. Other than the asterisk that you pointed out on paragraph 6.
Yeah. There's also an indemnification form that's not completed in here.
I don't know what's wrong with me. I can't even find paragraph 6, but that's all right.
Not paragraph 6, it's item number 6 in the application. The very first item in that.
Okay. Oh, I see. Interactive arts camp. Okay.
Like to request permission to serve alcohol.
And we went through that we went.
Not with them. I don't believe we went.
Okay. Yeah.
them.
Because we spent so much time with the Guilford Art
Mhm.
Center and you know in what they do, and then did we also give a dispensation for the Performing Arts Festival with their special dinner on the green?
We did.
Yes,
We
we
did.
did.
So I wonder if we need to. I'm not necessarily against this, but I don't know whether we need to talk to them a little more about this because we kind of put the other groups through their
Right.
paces on this.
Right, I think we do. I think
Yeah.
we're gonna need to see their plan for alcohol
Yeah.
before we approve it.
Mhm.
And I think we made the other groups run it by the police too.
Mhm.
Oh, yeah,
definitely.
absolutely.
Can we hold the date and just table this?
Yeah, we could do two things. We could approve it without the alcohol, and request that, suggest they come back to us with a separate request for the, serving of
good.
alcohol. Does that make sense?
Right,
I like that.
yeah,
Well, that's essentially what they're saying. They're requesting the opportunity to submit an exception,
Yeah. Okay,
if I'm reading it correctly. So that's perfect. Nice catch, Sue.
yeah, good.
excellent.
Okay.
Thank you, Sue.
Right.
All right, so we're approving this one, based on, the use of the green, but we're not approving the use of alcohol until such time as they, apply and provide us with the information we need.
Sounds right. I would second that. I would second that amendment if that's where we are.
I think you are.
Okay.
All right, let me, try your minds. Selectman Federici,
Aye.
Selectman Haberda,
Aye.
Selectwoman Renner,
Aye.
Selectwoman Ruoff,
Aye.
Selectman Hoy is also an aye. Thank you. Nice catch, Sue. Item 9, committee reports. Anything, Lou?
No.
Roseanne? No?
Nothing to
No.
report.
Okay, quiet over the holiday period. There we go. Okay, item 10, correspondence. Anybody have anything they needed to share? No. Old business, 11.1, certificate of insurance for Boy Scouts tree recycling program, waste transfer station. Just want to confirm that everyone received,
Yes,
the email from Karen with the, COI.
we did. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, I have one other, item for old business, and we'll call that 11.2. And that's the, tax incentive program. I think we're already, a month out from our, presentation and discussion on that. And Pete and I have started to work on it, to fine tune it, to make it compliant with, the statutory requirements in terms of, implementing a program like that. However, I just wanted to remind you that, I'd love to have your collective, wisdom and input on that as to what components, what timelines, et cetera. So if you get the opportunity to, shoot me an email, and obviously copy everyone when you do that, including Tracy, so that, so Pete and I don't wind up thinking we're doing it exactly the way it should be done, and without your consideration or your input, because it's our hope to roll this out, hopefully by the end of the month, no later than the first part of February, so we can then go through the required processes to make it effective. So if your input would be greatly appreciated. If there are any questions, any questions on that at this point, or at any point, just reach out to me and to Pete. Pete, just quickly, a couple of decision points. I think we were talking about the last time was, do we include residences? Is it for all areas of town? What's the length of period that we would extend the tax benefit over? I think those are some of the decision points that we probably could use some advice on.
Right, Matt. So the statutes, actually two programs. One is for kind of general economic development, and there's a list of properties, very broad, by the way, for which it can apply. And the other is for rehabilitation, where you would identify a rehabilitation zone. And basically that's for the purpose of getting things up to code and to addressing problem areas. So some towns have used, one or the other. North Branford, I know, used the rehab program, identifying the entire town as a rehabilitation zone. Most of the towns that we're seeing have used the standard 12-65B program. I think that's probably what we're looking at this point. But that does give the opportunity to defer up to 10 years. And I do think in the package that maybe was shared with you from the committee, there was a copy of an earlier version of the statute, 12-65B, which has been updated since then. So the numbers are a little higher now for how long you can defer it.
And then, things like it will have a choice between those two programs, but also is there some minimum that you would want to apply it to, or is it across the board? I mean, some of the towns will use a number, sometimes in the millions, of how big an improvement can qualify for the program. Others say they'll use a percentage. Is it 30% higher assessed value than it was before this rehab started? So these are, there's some flexibility right across the board in those things. So the committee who looked at this did make some recommendations. We can start with that, but certainly it's something, once we put it together, we can kind of kick around some options.
Good.
Can we specify a minimum and a maximum number?
Yes. The maximum I haven't seen, but I haven't looked at all of them. But I would think we could, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Well, listen, if you get an opportunity to spend a little time looking at the original presentation, and then that statute, if need be, or it's just general ideas in terms of how we think you feel comfortable shaping the program. That way, we're not going off in the wrong direction. So if over the next couple of weeks you could do that, it would be greatly appreciated.
I'll put together a little tighter bullet point thing now that we're through the holidays. Spend some time on it.
Yeah, that would be really good, Peter, if you could, you know, to your point, we had a pretty good discussion, in the original presentation, especially regarding residential and that type of thing. But if you've refined it down a little bit, especially from a regulatory perspective, and you have some bullet points, that'd be great to get that kind of stuff out to us for reaction.
Okay, will do. I agree.
Anyone else have anything under old business? New business? Public forum? And hearing none, public forum, I would entertain a motion to adjourn.
I will make the motion.
Second?
Second.
It's a non-debatable motion, so voice vote is fine. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much, and may many other of our meetings this year be as succinct and tight as this one.
Oh, I think
Very
we'll
nice.
make up for it later this month, I think.
Yeah, I
think
suspect.
so.
So our next selectmen meeting is going to be on Tuesday at 1:00. Tuesday, I don't have the date.
The
in front.
19th.
Tuesday the 19th at 1:00.
Yeah.
And then the
we have two
budget
other-
meetings are Wednesday and Thursday.
Right. Thanks for the reminder.
It was for you especially, Lou.
Yeah, no kidding. Amen. Let me just double check it in real time.
There you go.
Yeah, there it is.
All
Wonderful.
right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Lou, I'll give you a buzz in a bit.
Thanks, Matt.
All right.
Bye.
Have a great day, everyone.
Two.